My name is Errol Williams and this is Shirley Williams. We are from Houston, Texas, originally from Jamaica.
My sister had some family members that went on a previous trip. I believe it was to Tanzania, and they enjoyed their stay. And they went again to Ghana, so they told us how wonderful it was, and we inquired and did our research, and we wanted to experience Ghana.
I didn't have any worries or any concerns, I mean, as I said before, I'm from Jamaica, so there's a lot of similarities between Africa and what's happening in Jamaica because of our ancestors. And going to college in the United States, I met a lot of people who from Ghana, from here. One of my professor is here from Accra. So I pretty much, and I had a classmate who was here in January who gave me a lot of tips about the place.
I had some concerns, but talking to other people that went before kind of put my mind at ease. Some of my concerns was the traveling of long distances, that sort of thing, and I didn't want to catch malaria or any of these K-pox things, monkey viruses or whatever. So I just made sure I brought things to keep myself safe. Well, coming from Jamaica, we didn't have any culture differences, and we didn't hear anything about any large amount of crime in Ghana. Everybody who talked about Ghana didn't have any of those types of concerns that I heard about.
Yeah, that's the most impressive thing, is coming here and seeing the crime rate, hearing about the crime rate and walking it and living it and going through the street and walking through the market freely, or low it is, and getting assistance from people. I'm very impressed about that. I wish the people of Ghana can keep it that way.
Yeah, us coming here as a group with Africa Travelers, they took care of everything. From day one, they gave us their contact information. Before we booked any flights, they wanted to make sure they checked the flights for us. They sent us the itinerary. We had multiple Zoom calls that told us what to expect when we came, so we felt very prepared prior to traveling. Initially, we were saying, this is I was saying, this is so expensive, but I wanted to have the experience, so I made the sacrifice, right?
Yeah, I mean...
Initially.
Yeah, she just tell me what it costs. It can't be too expensive to come back home, Can never be, especially my first time in the motherland. You understand me?
Yeah. I believe it was absolutely worth it for me. Absolutely. With all of the different areas that we went to and all of the different hotels that we stayed at, the food, I think it definitely was worth it. All the things that we saw, it's a priceless experience, what we were able to experience, and I think it was well worth it.
Yeah, you can't quantify this in dollars, coming home, and I say this is home, coming back to Africa. This is my first time here. I think orientation is one of the biggest things in life, and where you land first is have an impact on you for life. So landing here in Ghana was the ideal spot, and then doing the tour with Africa Travelers, taking me to all the monuments and all the eras and explaining history, having you guys, Daniel and Ben, explaining history and driving through the different eras of the country and seeing history moving along the way.
And
there's some parts in the old, some parts in the new, some parts modern. It's just a total package. It was a great tour. I appreciate it.
Africa Travelers did great. I always have, get a little anxiety about where I'm gonna stay, not really sure, how it's gonna be. But yeah, I try to make sure I brought things to make myself comfortable, and we're the type of people that we just go with the flow.
Yeah, I never have no doubts, I'm here, I'm home.
Well, I think the hotel choices that we ended up with were very good. We had an enjoyable time. The Lemon Beach Hotel, the hotel at Mole National
just getting
Park.
up in Mole and seeing the park, the environment.
Those choices
sometimes
are
it's not
very
about
good.
the place, sometimes it's about the people and the environment, And we can't get too caught up in the place.
And
because
Lemon
the
Beach
people and the
Hotel
experience and the environment is the real experience.
Lemon Beach Hotel was my favorite.
Was really relaxing and taking the cake and coming back up here in the city.
Yeah.
So I think it was a very good choice, and just moving around day by day gave you variety,
Yeah.
and put life into perspective, you know. I think that made the trip, you know. The trip is about that because you see
Yeah.
things and you don't know things, but when somebody explains it to you, it brings everything into perspective. And having the tour guides who are very, very knowledgeable,
Yes.
knowing the area, know where to stop, know where everything is,
Right.
explaining things, coordinating things, that is just, that is a trip in itself.
Yeah.
You understand me? Because the places are there. People might walk and see the places and don't know the history behind it. But once the tour guide explain everything and put everything together and coordinate everything, it flows.
The
And having a big
safety-
group is very good.
Michael and Joseph kept us safe on all the driving. The driving was a lot of driving for the 10 days, but you felt safe with them. They knew what they were doing. Isaac and Benny giving us the history of where we were going and giving us all the information, taking great pictures that we'll have for a lifetime. It's invaluable. It made us really feel safe. We felt like we were with family.
I mean, the group dynamics, you can't have everybody in a group from the same background and experiences, you know. So when you have diversity, it kind of increases knowledge, you know, because when you get a different perspective from somebody else, you know, and it keeps the conversation flowing on the bus, you know, obviously you might have some differences, we expect that, because we're not gonna have see eye to eye and everything. But at the end of the day, it enrich the trip. You understand me? And some of those talking points, you look at it and you say, okay, these are great things, you know, and the experience makes the trip great.
And I think we came here to meet other people, and
Yeah.
we definitely did that. And the groups that we had together, everybody had their different experiences, and everyone was kind.
Yeah.
Everyone, you know, treated you with respect. And it's okay that you don't agree on everything. You don't have to agree on everything. That's what life is about, and that's how we learn from each other. So we were a little anxious about, you know, what the group would be, but, you know, we came with our own group. We came with our own fun, and everybody joined in, and I think in the end, it really turned out great. We really met some great people, and so it was an excellent outcome. Well, there were so many challenges
Yeah, I mean, the
that were
challenges-
taken care of.
Yeah,
Like
the
one of our friends got sick.
One person got sick and we had to
And,
stop at
I
the
mean,
clinic. But it
Isaac,
was really fast.
within
and,
minutes
And the
was-
healthcare system is very, very good, very efficient. We stopped at one clinic and they had a lab at that little clinic so they could do blood work, everything, and IV, and we were back on the road within no time, and anywhere in the world, including the US, that would have been a whole day, you know, at 40 times the price, you know. But it's just good to be here and seeing the places, and my thing, I didn't have many challenges just coming here the first couple of days and getting acclimatized to the food. You know, because when I came here, the ancestors looked at me and said, too much junk in your body. We got to get rid of some of this. Understand me? And then I started packing what I needed. So it was great. It was great. I love it.
the bus was always clean when we got in there. So any issues that we might have thought we had,
Yeah,
they were
no
taken
issues.
care of
The-
very
the-
quickly. Anything that came up.
The plugs here are different though, because they are European plugs, you know. So you need an adapter for that, you know. And
Yeah,
those are minor things.
certain hotels, you
The-
have to
yeah.
have an adapter. That was a challenge.
That's
because
a minor thing. you know.
Wi-Fi and internet is very important. Most everywhere had Wi-Fi, but to keep your items charged, you had to have an adapter in certain hotels. So that
Yeah.
was probably the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Which, in
And
the
we
end of
solved
the
problem
day,
because we bought local
yeah,
credit.
at
We
the
had
end
our
of the day,
phone.
it was okay because
We
we
bought
plugged
local
out.
credit and we
We
good.
put the phones down for a little bit until
Yeah.
we were able to get charged up.
And
You know,
see-
you get Wi-Fi in certain areas when you're traveling. So we just dealt with it.
Yeah.
It was good to kind of put the phone away for a little bit.
You know, it was great talking to the people there, talking to the chief and giving the donations, going to the villages and talking to the chief in the villages and giving donations, handing over donations. Those were excellent, excellent moments. Culturally, I find that the school system here and how kids go to school, like the ladies, girls cut off their hair as a sign of respect, you know, I thought that was admirable. You know, but there's so many experiences, I can't really name them.
Learning
can't
our
really name them.
history about the Queen Mother, and just how the culture is here, the differences. I think that was an excellent experience. I loved going to the mosque. The ancestral river was one of my best experiences, and going to the castles and going inside the dungeon and seeing the scratches on the cement walls from my ancestors and walking that path, I don't think I'll ever forget it.
I think Africa travelers, you know, I think
They got it right.
they got it right. They got a good mix of the different places
Yes.
to visit, and within the short time, because
Yes.
they put 10 days as to be when you look back at it, 10 days is really a short
Yeah.
time, but they put so much in it because Ghana is a very big country, you know.
And if
We're
you
talking
want
about
to
country of
see,
37
if
million
you want to
dollar
see the
people.
history
Yeah.
of places, you know, that's the kind of trip you're going
Yes.
on. If you
So
want to have excitement and shopping and partying, then this might not be the type of trip for you. But if you want to see historical sites,
This is the trip.
this Ghana
and,
trip is excellent.
and it's a lot of traveling, but it takes you through history,
Yes.
you know, through the different eras. It's like you're traveling through time.
Yeah.
You understand me? It's like a timeline when you travel.